Well, Lorenzi, the Oklahoman. AC, what have you learned through two games about what it sort of takes to play with a lead against Indiana, and what sort of urgency did you sense from that group that started the second quarter?
Yeah, I mean they're hell bent on playing the way that they want to play for 48 minutes, whether they're up 20, down 20, tie game, you know, early in the fourth, start of the game. They're going to play how they're going to play, and I think that's the test for us this series is can we withstand their pace and their pressure that they put on us on offense and defense of being physical and trying to play tough on that end, and sustain it for a full 48 minutes. And that's the challenge for us is can we play at our best for 48 minutes and extended stretches. And even like tonight we were up 19 or so and they made a little 6-0 run. Mark called timeout and then we got right back to playing how we needed to play. That's the test for us.
On your right, Jenny.
Do what? Yeah, I don't remember specifically start of the second. Was that like our dub, me, Queso, Wiggs? Yeah, we've played that lineup a lot through the playoffs, and Mark went back to it just because, we've had a lot of success. Me and Kaysen do a good job of kind of mixing it up with whoever's the lead guards, and then, Dub has great hands, and then I'm not sure if it was Cheddar Hart, but, we just have versatility in that lineup, and it lets Wiggins, let Wiggs get loose a little bit too.
Hey, Alex, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. Mark called their offense conceptual. Rick called it an ecosystem. Obviously, Tyrese is the head of all of that. So how do you guys feel like you've balanced tonight, guarding him, making sure you're handling him, but then, were there other things you felt like you did to sort of hold him in check the way you did, especially first 3+ quarters?
Yeah, I mean, you give a lot of credit to Lou. I think he matched up with most of his minutes. Lou's accepting the challenge. I think Lou maybe only scored, maybe made one shot tonight. But he knows the role he needs to play for us to have a chance to win this series and pick up that trophy at the end. And he's doing a good job of it. But like you said, kind of speaking on the way they play, like tonight they had 5 or 6 guys in 12 to 17 point range. All of them took about 10 to 12 shots. Like they're a very unselfish team. They're a very consistent team with wherever the ball finds, that person is aggressive to score, and they got good players. So I think it's just, it comes down to making it as hard as we can for them and then, trying to force tough shots and finish possessions.
Marcus on the left.
Marcus Thompson, The Athletic. I got a couple questions for you. You had the fewest minutes in the regular season that you've had in a long time, I think like your second year. I'm curious what that was like for you. Was it tough as a guy who's used to playing, or was it good for you at this point in your career?
Yeah, I mean, it's a double-edged sword. Some of that is I play a pretty erratic style, regardless if it's game 1 or if it's, game 2 of the finals. Like, I just only have one gear. I don't know how to play at 75%. So some of that was keeping me, out of my own way, out of harm's way, because I don't do a good job of that on my own. And then, yeah, some of that was difficult just because I am such a competitive guy. And, if I'm only playing 15 to 20 minutes, and if it's one of those nights where it's 15 and we're not playing great, like my instinct is to like, all right, coach, like leave me in there, let me fix it, let me be the one to like help us get out of it. So yeah, a little difficult in that aspect, but at the same time, we won 68 games in the regular season. We had a 12, 13-man rotation through the year, depending on who was hurt and different teams we played. That just comes with the nature of having a really good, deep team.
Have you gotten a chance to process being back in the finals, especially like the journey it took to get back to this level and how it impacts your play now?
Yeah, just how difficult it is. It's not easy to make the playoffs. It's not easy to win a series. It's not easy to advance to the finals. Like, all that shouldn't be taken for granted. And, I keep seeing people for the first time this postseason, like people that I know or don't know, and they say congratulations. And I truly don't want them to tell me congratulations until the series is over and we've won. Like, I don't feel like we've accomplished anything until we win 4 games. And that's just kind of the mindset I have because, like you said, getting here isn't guaranteed. You're not – nobody gets a free pass. Nobody gets an extended welcome. You know, you have to earn it every time, and being here is an accomplishment, but winning it is the real, is the real pinnacle.
Third row in the center.
Hey, Alex, Brett Siegel of Clutch Points. Jalen was just asked about going against you in practice. He said that he tends to fry you a lot. I was wondering if you ever respond to that.
Dub's just a very confident individual. I'm not the best practice player. I once I made an NBA roster and I signed a contract, my intensity in practice dropped a little bit. In the game is kind of where it matters now. I think I've earned that spot in my career. So we'll let him have the days in between games.
Nick.
Alex, I just want to ask you about the offensive process that you felt as a team. You guys had 25 assists, and it just seemed like more of those sort of inside-out ball movement plays that you were able to get to throughout the night.
Yeah, I mean, that was something that we touched on last post game when I was up here, just about, I felt like we were playing in crowds a little bit. We felt like we were, forcing one, good. We weren't respecting good defense when we were driving to the basket, and there were guys that were open, and, maybe a little bit was that wanting to win the game so badly first night in game one that, we overlooked how we've played all year, and I think tonight was a better representation of how we play, and that's probably why, we had good rhythm with shots going in and the ability to play inside out.
Thank you, Alex.